Yo.
You're on the air.
All right. Well, guys, this is the advice show with Thomas and Jofi.
Hey.
This isn't the special acoustic set.
You got any advice for me?
Stay groovy.
Keep on doing what you're doing, Ort.
You're supposed to say, shut up, Ort.
All right. I don't want you to do that. Oh. I don't think this microphone is working.
Is this one?
Station's down? All right. Whoops! What do you do if you're on the radio and you can't hear yourself? Well, anyway, today is a very special show because Jofi got a new haircut.
Yep, I did.
Where'd you get that haircut, Jofi?
Well, I went to my friend's house. Said, "Hey, let me get a haircut."
And you can really tell.
Yeah.
You seem like you're a different person.
Thanks. I'm really going for that new look.
You still feel the same, though. All right, so anyway, we're gonna start off. When I said acoustic, I meant that there's not gonna be any sound effects. Any
Unplugged.
Unplugged. This is an unplugged session. I was feeling a bit down on technology the other day. I have been listening to "OK Computer" by the band Radiohead, and it made me think. Maybe we don't need all these gizmos, gadgets, and zubus. You just need to unplug and let yourself go. But anyway, ooh.
Looks like we have a caller.
Let's ignore that. Okay, so first of all, let's start off with the slime time word of the week. The slime time word is a special word where if any person on the show, either me or Jofi,
Or at home.
says the word, they get slimed.
You have the interactive advice show
They
kit.
get covered in slime, and it's gross. So we're gonna take.
You don't want it. You don't need it.
You don't need it. We're gonna take our headphones off and whoa. The slime time word for the show is sabbatical. All right. Well, I wonder what the word is this time. Could be anything. It's not anything though, because I just said it. I didn't get slimed. All right.
Or did you?
I didn't get slimed.
Secret slime.
Oh, I just secret slimed myself. All right. So, yeah. All right. After this, we have some corrections from the last show. Some errors we made. Even though we are very wise guys, we're not wise guys.
We're just a couple wise guys.
Yeah. We have some. We make some mistakes sometimes. So first of all, let me say to the woman who was in the love triangle and didn't know which to do. We said to pick Greg, but that was a really bad idea. Don't do that. You should have picked Pedro. All right.
If you did pick Greg, just go with it.
Just go with it. Just do your thing. But don't do that. Don't go with that guy.
If you can hang out with the other guy, try that.
Yeah. And also, everything else we said was probably wrong. So, all right. Let's see. Let's go on to the question. That's why you guys listen to the show. It's not to hear me blather on without a direction. All right. First of all, let's start out with some love advice.
Love advice?
Yeah, that's what I said. You're acting real strange, Joe. All right, so first of all, let's read this letter here. I recently got on Craigslist and saw that I had a misconnection. Side note for everybody: if you guys don't know what misconnections are, it's a way for people online. They see each other. They not online. They see each other in person, but they're too shy to say something,
or they just didn't get a chance to.
Maybe there was a really loud car in the area and they couldn't say anything. But so you get on you get on Craigslist and you
get a second chance for a first impression.
You say, hey, I saw you at the grocery store. You had on pants. I had on pants. If you know me, then you call me. Send me an email. All right. So okay. So anyway, I got a misconnection, and I want to know whether or not to respond.
You got a misconnection.
No, it wasn't me. I'm pretending. I'm reading the letter out. You know how this goes, Joe. We do this every week. Come on. All right. So anyway. I don't know whether to respond. I was at AutoZone. I was wearing my Bob Marley shirt and my Bob Marley pants. And this person was wearing an Animal Collective t-shirt. I'm really lonely a lot, but I also don't like the band Animal Collective too much. I don't know whether to respond to this email. All right, so what do you think, Joe?
First off, I'm going to have to ask what you were doing at AutoZone. If you were picking up a couple supplies, or was your car broken? And did it look like she had a car?
Yeah, this is a big part of the question because if you were at AutoZone and maybe you were buying like some very expensive auto parts, maybe she thinks that you're a very well-off-to-do person, and that's why she's responding to you. She doesn't really like you.
She's just a gold digger. She just wants your parts.
She just wants you and your money and your parts and your car. But and also, how do you even know it was you? It probably wasn't you. Like you're
Bob Marley shirts are pretty common.
Yeah, I have two. I have two on right now.
He does.
Isn't that weird?
I don't have any on. I don't have the shirt on.
Oh man, I said no sound effects, but I just did it. All right, so anyway, yeah, so I think that's good advice.
I don't think we gave any advice.
Did,
but that's good enough.
All right, no, we did give advice. All right, so I'm gonna say,
email her back. What's the worst that could happen?
Email her back. I'm gonna have to agree with Jofi on this one. All right, so yeah. Okay, next question. Let's see here. This is some more love advice. All right. I've been listening to. This is how the email reads. I've been listening to your show for probably about 2 weeks.
Too long.
Too long. There's no too long in this area of expertise. Anyway, I've been listening to your show for 2 weeks, and I think I'm in love. Every time I hear Jofi talk, I just want to come down there and give him a big old smooch on the lips.
Keep in mind, you can come down here. You should call first, but you can come down here. You can kiss either one of us.
All right, so let's finish the question first. So I'm shy, but I don't know what to do. Speak up. All right. Anyway, I'm too shy to come down there and see you, but I don't know what to do. You're a radio personality, and I'm not. Is there any way this is going to work out?
Well, I don't know. Seems like you're pretty outgoing enough to, at least send us an email. You should just come down here. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe hang out on the radio. I'd like to meet you. That's what I'm trying to say. I'd really like to meet you.
All right, that seems like some good advice, Jofi. All right, let's move on from love advice.
Love sinks.
Love sinks. It's the newest King Cobb album, I think. So anyway, we've got some car advice. This is a letter that we got. They're all letters. They're all letters. Why do I keep saying that? They're all letters. All right, so I listen to your show all the time. I have a Toyota Camry, and it's been acting up recently. I've been listening to your show for a while, and I took your advice, and I took out the back seats.
Good advice.
Yeah, good advice. But now I find I have nowhere for my friends to sit. Every time I come to pick somebody up, they try to sit in the back seat, then there's no back seats. I know you guys wouldn't steer me wrong, but I don't know what to do in this situation. What do you think about this, Jofi?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about it, and maybe you should put the back seats back in.
Whoa! Jofi would never say that.
Yes, I would.
Jofi would never say, yes, I would.
Or would I?
Wait a second. Take that mask off there. You're not Jofi. You're that guy, Jimmy.
You got me. You got me.
Right. It looks like we have a special guest on the show today, guys. Jimmy Masensix here. Old Jimbo Jones.
Jimbo Jones. Thanks,
Right.
Thomas. It's
What
good to be
happened
here.
Jofi?
Jofi's out of town this week.
What is he doing?
He's, I don't know what he's doing, but he's not here.
Advice to my no good partner. Come into the radio show and don't get somebody to dress up like you and pretend to be you. You know I'm going to figure it out. You're my best friend. I know what you look like.
I thought I was doing a good enough job, but
You fooled
obviously
me
I
for
wasn't.
the first 3 questions, except the advice was all wonky. All right. So anyway.
Back to the advice.
Yeah. So I'm going to say you should never put the back seats back in.
Unless you really need to.
You don't need some. You don't need to. If you got friends that don't want to sit in the trunk, then they're not friends you need.
Maybe just put like a nice recliner in there. Keep the back seat out, but maybe put a different seat in.
I know what I would do.
What would you do?
I would I would just cut the top out of the car and have them stand up.
Cut the top out. That's a great idea.
Sure.
Ort says cut the top out of the car and just have him stand up.
Yes, certainly. They could stand up for America that way.
Stand up for America.
Right. Salute.
That sounds like a good idea.
That sounds like a
Patriotic.
great idea.
This is the first time, guys. We are not even taking our own advice. We're taking Ort's advice.
Maybe Orc should have his own show.
I think he
I
does.
already do somehow.
Oh!
Oh, man. So I guess Jofi's on a sabbatical or something. Always
Slime!
get slimed. Oh, slime time word is never sabbatical. I guess it is this week. Oh,
I'll
jeez.
see you guys later. Me and the little lady are going to stop off and have us a Falstaff.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, man. I just...
Womp, womp, womp.
Falstaff, I hardly even know her. All right, so yeah, where were we? I was covering slime or something. We're talking about questions. All right, so Ort just left the studio. That's what was going on. Because I'm not sure if the the microphones can pick him up, but Ort was here. He was talking about
He gave some pretty good advice. But as a side note on the advice, definitely always listen to Ort.
Yeah.
Always listen to Ort's advice. That's a good piece of advice right there.
You can find him at Copper Creek all the time, and he always gives you good stuff. A laugh, a hoot, a holler. It's all good. All right, so anyway, let's go on to some more car advice that maybe will be better. All right, so this one, do you want to read this one?
Yeah, I can read this one.
Can you read, Jim? I don't even know who you are.
All right, this is an email from a longtime listener, first-time emailer. Says, reads, I don't like your radio show. Ouch. My radio is
Whoa!
broken, though, and I can't get the channel to change. I drive home from my job at J.C. Penney's at the same time every day. It just so happens to be at the time that the advice show is on. I just hate it. After a hard day, you jerks are the last thing I want to hear. Can I get you to stop? Well, that's not... First off, that's not really... I don't know how I'd give advice on that, but...
We are actually in a 2-year contract right now with the radio station.
With AT&T.
We don't want to do this show anymore. That's not true. I love doing this show. But no, we can't do anything. Come on. Why don't you like this show?
I don't think your radio's broken. I think your radio's working just fine since
working
it's on
better than it's
90.5
WG
WUOG.
Athens. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna say, get over it. Get over here. Come on. You don't need it. You don't want it. Come over. Take the back seats out. Whatever that stuff we say is. All right, so I'm sorry. Why am I feeling so apathetic today? Oh no, dude, I'm feeling apathetic. You know what that is?
That's the slime emotion.
Slime emotion. Oh, I got slimed again. Oh, I'm all slimy.
I really got to get out of this booth. It's just covered in slime right now.
Well, that sounds about right. It's Athens.
It's pretty slimy.
All right, so we have some life advice now.
Life advice. I hardly know her.
All right, come on. You're the straight man, Jofi. Jim. All right, so I live with 3 dudes in a house off of Clayton Street.
Really?
Not me. This is me reading an email.
Oh, okay.
All right. We get along quieter, louder, closer. All right. So we get along fine, and everyone pays the bills on time. Unfortunately, we also share a bathroom. I use it, and the toilet is always covered in urine. It's really gross. And even worse than that, the urine smells like paint. How do I approach my roommates, and should I be concerned for his health?
First off, we got to know, do you know which one it is? Because if you don't, that could get really, really sticky.
And also, maybe have you considered the fact that you probably do some pretty gross things too? Everybody likes to think they're a shining angel in the house, but sometimes we all have to pee on the seat.
What I'm gonna have to say, maybe you got 3 roommates, right? You got to buy 3 toilet seats and put them in each one of their rooms, and then check on them periodically to see if there's any more urine on them. Then you've got your culprit.
You know what you also have to consider is the fact that maybe if you don't know which one's doing this, maybe you're sleepwalking and doing it. Always consider sleepwalking.
That's some good advice in itself. Feel free to call in and ask us a couple questions.
706 45 or 542 4567.
Maybe you should repeat that because I don't even know what number to call.
706 542 4567.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry. There's a lot of technical difficulties to get.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, yes, listener.
I got a question for the advice guy.
What's
I
up?
need some advice. I'm thinking about popping the question.
Yeah.
Popping the question.
The question.
The question.
The big fish. That's what I'm talking about.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. So I met this girl like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
I asked her on a date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to Renaissance Times.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm
When are you
wondering-
going? When are you going?
Show starts at 7:30. What time is it right now?
I think
Oh no, sir! It's already
No,
8.
no. Don't tell me. What
I
time
think-
is it right now?
It's 8:30.
What do I do, man?
well, first off, it's 8:20. I think what you got to do is
Do they have previews at Renaissance Times? I think there's like 15
good thinking.
minutes.
They do
Yeah.
have previews. What you got to do is you got to get there ASAP. That's as soon as possible.
And also, I would probably never take a girl to Renaissance Times. So.
I would buy her a turkey leg. Girls like that kind of stuff.
No, they don't.
They love it.
So anyway, you're gonna pop the question here. Do you have any?
Yeah,
you know
man.
what you're gonna do?
I'm seriously considering. I have a ring from the last time I considered popping the question.
Was this with the same girl or a different girl?
No, man. That was like 6 girls ago.
6 girls ago.
It's-
Gotcha.
I've been polishing it though, pretty regularly, so it's pretty spiffy if I do say so myself.
That's good. Girls like
Yeah, man.
spiffy things.
It's spiffy.
So, what was the question you were gonna ask before you realized you were?
Do you want to know? Do you want to know whether or not you should,
you
or do
planned-
you want to know
I
how
need
to?
know-
You were-
I don't need to. I need to know if I should. I know how to.
You know how?
Yeah.
What is
Well,
this
I'm-
girl like? Well,
I'm in the show, dude, and I ride the black horse on the Black Knight.
you're saying a lot
What about
of stuff
her?
right now?
Is she? What about her?
She's just a regular girl.
Just a regular girl? I think you need to ride up on your horse.
Okay.
I think next
For
time
sure.
you call into
Girls
the
like
show,
horses.
You should have a definitive question.
I think this question is amazing. I think you should definitely pop the question.
I
Hop
think
off that
that's what
horse
I'm
and
asking.
pop off that question.
All right, so I'm gonna give you. Yeah, just do it, man. Come on, just do it.
Follow your heart.
We're cutting you.
See ya.
See ya.
Well, sometimes I feel like we don't give the best advice, Jofi.
Sometimes I think we also don't give the best advice, Jofi.
All right, so
On to another question.
on to another question. Ooh, this is a good one. This is some love advice. This is something we all have to deal with. Not love, but advice. And this question. I am a poor college student, and ooh,
Robots.
Space. I just asked a girl on a date. She's coming back to my house, and I'm supposed to cook her dinner.
Is that the date?
Yeah, that's the date.
All right.
I mean, it's not my question, so
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming that's what the. Oh, we have another call.
We'll get back to that question in a minute.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, I need some advice. I have this roommate who's like, I don't know, he just doesn't eat. Like, every day he gets a little thinner, a little paler, a little more death-like. And I don't want to really bother him about it. He's a pretty cool guy, but lately he's just been losing consciousness on, like, the middle of the living room and, you know, just that whole Ethiopian look. And now he's trying to, he thinks I drop him on his head sometimes, but I think it's just when he falls, dude.
I
From,
think
lack of food.
that's. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but that sounds like he's got the death syndrome.
Oh, the Death Syndrome.
Have you looked into this? Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
I want you to
Do know
hop
about
on.
this?
I want you to hop on Wikipedia and look up the death syndrome.
Have you tried cold rags?
Yeah, I have tried cold rags actually,
Wrapping
but he
them.
just says get these off me and then beats me.
He beats you.
I mean, he tries to. I mean, you know,
Sir,
it's
I'm
kind of
gonna
like being
say
hit
this.
by like a
I'm gonna
corn
say
stalk or
this to
something.
you with all seriousness. If you're having this many troubles with your roommate, first of all, that you can't talk to him. Second of all, that you think he's dying, but you're not doing anything about it except putting cold rags on him. And third of all, that he beats you. I think you need to find a new roommate.
I think you might need a new roommate
It's the end
too.
of July, right? You're not living with him again next year, are you?
Yeah, I signed a lease, put down a deposit. He's also my brother. I mean, I just don't know what to do.
Well, there's not too much you can do.
You can come live with me.
You could.
Do
You,
you think I should just not bring it up and just let him kind of,
I,
you know,
I
die
find
out?
the best
Worst
times
thing-
I
worst-
have in my life are when I don't tell people the things I think.
worst things. If worse comes to worse, and he does have the death syndrome,
He's gonna die soon.
you might not have to worry about this problem for too much longer.
Yeah.
The,
do you think I
the
should
only
just,
problem
like-
you're going to have is finding a new roommate, if you know what we're saying.
So, final decision. I'm gonna say, don't say anything to him. Try to get out of that living situation. It seems unhealthy.
All right. Well, I appreciate
death
it. guys.
syndrome is communicable, so watch out.
Whoa.
Definitely don't drink out of his milk carton. That's pretty much all the advice we've got for you.
Whoa. All right. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
All right, I think we have time for one last question. Let's finish up the question I was asking. Before, good answer. I'm sorry, but it was reading. I'm going on this date with the girl tonight. She's coming back to my place, and I'm going to make her dinner. Unfortunately, Joe and Thomas, or should I say Jim and Thomas this time, I don't know how to make anything. My cooking skills are limited to knowing how to make ramen and filet mignon. What kind of meal can I cook up with this?
Well, before I was on the advice show,
Let me cut you off here, Jim. This is what I'm going to say. This is what you want to do. This is what I'm going to tell you to do. This is what I'm going to say. You're going to get the ramen and you're going to boil it for exactly 3 minutes. All right? And then you're going to get the steak, the filet mignon, and you're going to chop it up into tiny bits. And then you're going to put the steak into the ramen and you're going to stir it
definitely add shredded cheese.
around. Add shredded. Oh.
I think
definitely
the
no
girls
Joe
are gonna
Fi.
like that.
Definitely no Jofi. Jofi hates shredded cheese. But you're gonna mix it around. It's gonna be like a impromptu spaghetti meal. And have you seen Lady and the Tramp, the spaghetti thing where you bite one end and she bites the other?
Definitely eat it in a back alley. That's all I gotta tell you.
End? No. Oh god. Oh gosh. Oh well. Yeah. So that's my advice. Do you have any advice, Jim?
Well, I also gave my advice and
Is that what that was your advice?
definitely eat it in a back alleyway.
All right.
It worked for Lady and the Tramp.
So this person calls in. They ask, "How do I make something?" And you say, "I'm not going to tell you how to make it. Just eat it in the back alley."
I mean, that's all you gotta do. I mean,
Ooh, I'm sorry. This is getting heated. Heated.
and it is hot in here.
All right. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. I think we're going to have to end a bit short. I'm sorry that my real co-host isn't here, and we got this guy. But
That's all, folks.
that's all. My advice is don't leave your radio co-host high and dry to go to Pitchfork Music Festival.
Womp womp womp.
Just get out of here. I'm just rasping it, Jimmy.
roundup talk show. From news to sports to music, film, and many more. We will catch you up on the week's events during the next 30 minutes. This is Spectrum.
That's it.
90.5 FM is WUOG Athens. Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Spectrum, a weekly roundup talk show that summarizes the week's events for you. Have you had a busy week? Well, if so, sit back, turn your radios or your computer systems up, and catch up on the things you may have missed. I'm your host, Fabrice, otherwise known as DJ Super Soul Fighter, but that's another show. And